So yo guys, what is going on with Kingdom Hearts Key right now, man? We got some good news and some confusing news for someone like me who's a huge theory slash speculator for the Kingdom Hearts series. Now, of course, as you know, I've been talking about the Master of Masters for a good while now. I absolutely love talking about this man because he has so many endless possibilities on what he could be and what his impact on the story could be. And of course, with Tetsuya Nomura, I feel like Tetsuya Nomura, and I know it's gonna sound a little bit outlandish and fucked up. I feel like Tetsuya Nomura really just like fist us with the whole fact that the Master of Masters is the hooded guy, because now there's really no mystery to who the Master of Masters is, whether or not we've seen this guy before, and if we've seen this guy before, what all has he done to really make his name known as the Master of Masters. Now, it's weird that, of course, he's the Master of Masters, and once again, that guy who's pretty much like, oh, not possible. I still don't see how he would be the Master of Masters. It just, I mean, I know it's kind of like a thing that, Japanese media does, to where the most loopy guy, the most, funny, carefree guy, kind of, out there guy, he's outlandish and stuff like that. When they get serious, they could literally be the most powerful motherfucker out of everyone. But I mean, it still doesn't make sense to me. This dude is supposed to have knowledge of the future. This dude is supposed to pretty much given the Master of Masters their strength, their abilities, potentially even their keyblades. His sigil is the his sigil is the fucking X blade, dog. And this dude is just running around talking about something. Nah, it's not possible. Definitely, I still agree 100% with my own theory that this guy who said that is a freaking imposter. I will never ever give that up until we get some type of official statement from Tetsuya Nomura, or some type of official of course progression inside of the story of Kingdom Hearts X and Unchained Key. Now let's go ahead and get into the name that seems to be connected to this guy in some way, form, or fashion, because we have two different sources, KH Insider, and then of course we have a commenter on the KH Insider's thread that was actually telling them that this name actually goes to the Sixth Apprentice. Finally, some news on this guy. Now of course, the Sixth Apprentice we don't know of yet, we haven't seen him yet, right? So Rushu is supposed to be somebody's name. KH Insider didn't seem like they were for certain that it was the Master of Masters name, but they did put the news out there in that sense. They did kind of state that, of course, the foreteller that actually mentioned the name Rushu did seem to kind of be hinting at the Master of Masters, seeing as, of course, they kind of, went off not went off, but kind of not necessarily removed their statement from the argument, but rather, kind of leveled with the person that said they were talking about the Sixth Apprentice. So if that's the case, then of course we can't really go off of KH Insider's Master of Masters statement just because it's KH Insider. If they're willing to, of course, knock their own statement down a peg to meet neck and neck with that statement, then of course we have to take into consideration that either one of them can be right. And I do think that, of course, the Master of Masters will actually wind up being, that Rushu will actually wind up being, of course, the Sixth Apprentice. And let me explain to you guys why. Rushu, I did some minuscule research. I could be wrong. My research could have been complete bullshit. Of course, when you search certain things up on Google, such as non-English language shit, you kind of come up with some bullshit, right? So it could be some bullshit, but I did come up with some type of general concept around the name of some type of influence from Six and stuff like that. So it seemed like Six was definitely thrown in with the name Rushu a lot. Sixth Apprentice, Sixth, and of course that does kind of make sense that he would be talking about the Sixth Apprentice. So as far as these two statements go, I'm gonna have to give the guy who said the Sixth Apprentice just a little bit more of course, recognition over KH Insider. I'm not, of course, saying KH Insider is a bad source. They're actually good. They're kind of neck and neck with KH13 as well. So of course they're a good source. They're a damn good source. But this guy definitely seems like he's probably more on the mark, seeing as Rushu does have some type of connections with the number 6, Sixth Apprentice. So with that being said as well, if he's talking about Rushu and things like that, is this possible that the imposter that I'm thinking of is actually Rushu? Now, seeing as of course Rushu would be the guy that probably was like, nah, not possible. We can understand why he's in possession of the Keyblade that seems to have the more darker tone out of all of the Foreteller's Keyblades, right? Now, even though we know this, we realize that another foreteller is actually conversing with what should be the Master of Masters, and in this instance, it seems like, of course, in another scene that he's just sitting there, he's just chilling, he's probably just basking in the light from the world, and of course, he doesn't seem to be really that, caring about what she's talking about or something like that. I wouldn't say caring, but he's probably really just listening to her and pretty much probably taking in all the information that she's giving him. And then of course we also have a scene to where he pretty much has his Keyblade drawn on her. Now, we don't have any say so on what they were talking about or whether or not these two communications between the two of them in both screenshots is connected. To my knowledge, it could be connected. They probably have already stated this, but to my knowledge, I haven't found anything about them actually saying, hey, these two scenes do seem to come right after each other, so we don't know just yet. And that's something that's worrisome for me, and it also could potentially prove my imposter theory. And the reason why I say this is, of course, at first, if there's going to be one to where she's talking to him and he's all chill, of course, you know how Kingdom Hearts X works. You usually visit the same area twice, or you usually get to see like the same kind of scenarios twice. But in the second scenario, or if it's the first scenario, he pulls out the Keyblade that seemingly should be Rushu, seeing as he's the sixth apprentice. Now, we also can take into consideration that Master Xehanort'S Keyblade is the most ancient Keyblade, and if his Keyblade is the most ancient Keyblade, then of course we know that Rushu should be the first apprentice, or at least his Keyblade was the first one created by the Master of Masters. And this is another reason why I feel like it doesn't make any sense that he would actually have this Keyblade. So let me know what you guys think about this. It's really some crazy ass news, man. I love talking about the Master of Masters because he's a huge mystery. It's like Tetsuya Nomura really isn't letting wow, I really just fucked up my words there, but Tetsuya Nomura really isn't letting out nothing about this dude outside of course, he pretty much just fisted us with the information. Yeah, he's the Master of Masters, mate, so take that and just run with it. Nobody fucking cares. So, let me know what you guys think about this. Do you think any of my thoughts are going to come to fruition? Leave some of your own thoughts that you think will come to fruition. Let me know personally how you feel about the name Rushu. Do you think it's for the Master of Masters, or do you think it's for the Sixth Apprentice, seeing as of course it does have some type of correlation and connection to the number 6? Also, let me know if you feel like this person that actually has pulled out the Keyblade that Master Xehanort is in possession of. And if you're wondering why I keep saying Master Xehanort is in possession of, because this Keyblade isn't named yet. So that's why. If you're wondering why, of course, I started to say the same thing again. Wow. Let me know how you feel about it. Do you think that this person is the imposter that I mentioned before? Do you think that that imposter theory may be more likely, seeing as now we see him pulling out the Keyblade on the most peaceful seeming of the foretellers? Let me know what you guys think. This has been your boy Amaziah. Don't forget to do a little A-class gaming and everything you do. Don't forget to keep it A-class. And I'm going to catch you guys in the next one, man. Peace the heck out.